Teen Kids News is next. We'll have the latest headlines and these reports.
I'll have some scary information about what teens are doing while they drive.
In sports, you'll have a front row seat for what's called the highest aerial act in the world.
I'll splash around in Boston's Charles River with a different kind of duck.
How you can help save the planet while brushing your teeth.
So, what makes the Ivy League so tough to get into? I'll have a report on College and You.
We'll take you behind the scenes of a film shoot headed by a familiar face. I'll have the story.
That and more just ahead on Teen Kids News.
Hi, I'm Mwanza.
And I'm Jessica. Welcome to Teen Kids News.
First up, we'll hear from Lauren with the headlines.
This week, we take a look at the news that made headlines throughout the year. 2007 kicked off to a historic start in our
60140. Call now.
One if by land and two if by sea. That's the way Paul Revere was informed how the British were coming. But when it comes to visiting Boston nowadays, you can do it both by land and by sea. Here's Tyler with an explanation.
It's a truck that goes off-road. Way off-road. This is a Boston Duck. It's a truck that's not afraid to get wet.
This is our 12th season of the Boston Duck Tours.
We took a special ride in the Boston Duck Tour. It's a way to see the city from land and water in the same vehicle. The ducks were around long before this tour began. They go all the way back to World War II.
And what is a Boston Duck? Well, a Boston Duck is basically a World War II amphibious landing craft that has been converted into a touring vehicle. So we take people around the city of Boston on land and then also into the Charles River. These vehicles were used for a lot of different things during World War II, and mainly they were used as a supply vehicle because they could take supplies from ships onto the mainland.
The amphibious trucks became known as DUKWs. Originally designed by General Motors, the Duck was 31 feet long and 8 feet wide. That's over 3 times the size of your average SUV. It weighed 6.5 tons, even though it had no armor. It traveled 50 miles per hour on land and 6 miles per hour in water. It's a challenge for the tour's conductors.
They're pretty interesting to drive because you are basically driving a military tank through Boston traffic, which can be challenging at times.
So is it kind of a pain because it's so slow?
Sometimes you do wish it had a little more pickup on land.
For the tour's passengers, it's the perfect speed to take in the historic Boston sights. In Boston, I'm Tyler for Teen Kids News.